Yo, RealFam. Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever had that moment where you think your secrets are locked away? Like, password protected, behind a vault door. Only you have the key. Now, imagine waking up one morning, and that vault is wide open. And the person you trust the most is the one holding the door. That's exactly what just happened in the world of Little People, Big World. But this isn't about a TV show anymore. This is about millions of dollars. Federal tax evasion, the IRS, and a deposition that's so messy, so personal, it might actually end Caryn Chandler. Yeah, I said it. It's over for Caryn. And you want to know the weirdest part? The weapon Matt Roloff used against her was her own maiden name. Stay with me. This gets deep. Real deep. Alright, RealFam, let's rewind for the people who just got here. You know Matt Roloff, right? Little person, big personality, bigger farm. He's the guy with the blue overalls, the huge pumpkins, and the family drama that's been on TV for over 15 years. But behind every Matt Roloff, there's a woman. For a long time, that was Amy. Then the divorce. Then Caryn Chandler. Now Caryn didn't just appear out of nowhere. She actually started as the farm manager. Yes, the manager. While Amy was still in the picture. That alone? Messy. But here's what most people don't know. Caryn Chandler isn't even her original last name. Her maiden name? Different story. And that name, that one little word, is now the smoking gun in a $5 million lawsuit. You see, when you're on a reality show, you think you control your narrative. You smile for the cameras. You post the cute pumpkin patch photos. But underneath, there's lawyers. There's contracts. There's money moving in the dark. And Matt Roloff? He's not dumb. He's been playing chess while everyone else plays checkers. But even chess players slip. Okay, let me break this down in plain English because the legal documents are like 200 pages of bore. There is a $5 million lawsuit. Who's suing who? Not Matt suing Caryn. Not Caryn suing Matt. It's way sneakier than that. A third party. A business partner from years ago. Someone who claims they were cut out of a massive land deal involving Roloff farms. And during that lawsuit, the lawyers started digging. And what did they find? They found that Matt Roloff created something called a digital vault. Sounds cool, right? Like James Bond stuff. But this vault wasn't for gadgets. It was for financial documents, tax records, offshore stuff. And supposedly, only Matt had access. Except someone else had the password. Guess who? Caryn Chandler. Now here's where it gets wild. In a legal deposition, that's when you sit under oath and answer questions. Matt was asked directly, did Caryn Chandler ever access your digital vault? Matt's answer? Long pause. Then, not knowingly. RealFam, that is lawyer speak for yes, but I don't want to say yes. But then the lawyer pulled out the receipts, the login logs, the timestamps. And guess what name was used to access the vault on 3 separate occasions? Not Caryn Chandler. Not even Matt Roloff. Her maiden name. Now you might be thinking, okay, so she used an old name. Big deal. No. Listen, if Caryn used her own married name, Chandler, that's traceable. The IRS sees that. Lawyers see that. But a maiden name? That's like a ghost name. No direct link to Matt. No direct link to the farm. It's a backdoor. And here's the scary part. Once you access a digital vault with a hidden identity, and you move money or documents under that name, that's not a mistake anymore. That's concealment. The lawsuit alleges that Caryn, using her maiden name, helped Matt shuffle funds related to the farm's land sales. We're talking about money that should have been reported, taxed, split with former business partners. Instead, it went into accounts that, how do I say this nicely, didn't have a clear paper trail. And now the federal government is sniffing around. Yes, the IRS. Because when you hide money under a different name, especially a name tied to someone who isn't your legal spouse, they're not married, by the way, just engaged. That's tax evasion territory, not tax avoidance. Evasion, that's jail time stuff. Let me paint you a picture. Matt Roloff is sitting in a beige conference room. Lawyers on both sides. A court reporter. He's done hundreds of TV interviews. He's comfortable on camera. But this isn't TLC. This is real life. The plaintiff's lawyer is not a fan. She's sharp. She has a binder this thick, show with hands. She asks, Mr. Roloff, who else knows the password to your digital vault? Matt. Just me. She slides a printout across the table. It's a login record.
Date. Time.
IP address. And the username field. Caryn's maiden name. I won't say it out loud for legal reasons, but you can find it online. Matt looks at it. His face changes. You know that microsecond where someone realizes they've been caught? He says, I don't recall giving her that. The lawyer. But you don't deny she accessed it? Matt. I deny knowingly. Then the lawyer drops the bomb. Mr. Roloff, if Caryn Chandler accessed financial documents under a name not associated with her current identity, and those documents were used to move funds without reporting to the IRS, would that concern you? Matt doesn't answer for 11 seconds. The court reporter writes, Witness silent. Finally, he says, I need to speak with my attorney. RealFam, that's the sound of a castle crumbling. Let me stop you right here if you think this is just reality TV gossip. The IRS doesn't care about your TV show. They don't care about your feelings. They care about unreported income. And if the digital vault shows money moving from Roloff farms to accounts tied to Caryn's maiden name, that's a federal case. Here's how it works. If you transfer money to someone who isn't your spouse, and you don't file a gift tax return, and that money is actually income from a business deal, and you hide it under a different last name, that's 3 felonies before lunch. Now, I'm not saying Matt is going to jail today, but I am saying that lawyers for the other side have already hinted they're sending summaries to the IRS Criminal Investigation Division. And you know what that means? That means Caryn Chandler is now a person of interest, not a fiancé, not a farm manager, a potential co-conspirator. Her reputation? Over. Her future on the show? Over. Her engagement? Honestly, probably over too. Because once the IRS is involved, Matt Roloff's lawyers are going to do what all lawyers do. Protect Matt. And if that means throwing Caryn under the bus, they will use her maiden name as the tire tracks. Here's the part that breaks my heart, RealFam. Matt Roloff is smart. He knew about the digital vault access. Maybe not the first time, but after the second time, he knew. So, why didn't he change the password? Why didn't he lock her out? Because he was keeping a receipt. Think about it. If everything went smoothly, Caryn is his partner in crime, quietly off the books. But if things went wrong, if a $5 million lawsuit happened, he could point right at that maiden name and say, that wasn't me. That was her. I never gave permission. That's not love. That's insurance. And in the deposition, when the lawyer asked Matt, did you ever ask Caryn to stop using her maiden name to access the vault? Matt said, I didn't think it was necessary, which means he was okay with it, until he wasn't. Now Caryn is facing public humiliation, potential legal liability, and the loss of everything she built for over a decade. And Matt will probably settle the lawsuit,
Pay some money. Move on.
but Caryn, her name, both of her names, are ruined. So, where does this leave us, RealFam? The lawsuit is still ongoing. Depositions are sealed for now, but leaks happen. And when those leaks happen, the internet will explode. But here's my prediction. And you heard it here first. Caryn Chandler will try to distance herself from Matt publicly. She'll say she was following his instructions. She might even countersue for something, emotional distress, defamation, something. But it won't work, because the maiden name evidence is clean. It's digital. It's time-stamped. It's her fingerprint. Meanwhile, Matt will go back to filming. He'll post a video on Instagram standing in a pumpkin field, talking about lessons learned and moving forward as a family. But we'll know he traded her future for his own. And the IRS? They move slow, but they move final. If they find even one unreported transaction tied to that maiden name, Caryn Chandler won't be on TV anymore. She'll be in a federal courtroom.
Look.
I don't know Caryn personally. I don't know Matt personally. But I've watched enough of these stories to see the pattern. When money gets big, loyalty gets small. When the IRS gets involved, love becomes a liability. And when a man uses your own maiden name as a shield for himself and a sword against you, that's not a partnership. That's a setup. So here's my advice to you, RealFam. Guard your name, your real name. Don't let anyone use your identity to hide their money. Because when the vault opens, you might be the only one left standing in the light. And Caryn, she's standing in the dark right now, alone, with a maiden name that used to mean nothing, and now means everything in the worst way. It's over for her.